So, more with our ankles. So again, it's up to you if you're turned out or if your foot is forward. What we're going to do is just a little bit of pointing with our foot. So we're going to start with foot forward. You can see my feet. I can't see my feet in here, so here we go. So foot forward, you're just going to point and tap. So again, forward, point, and flex your foot and tap your heel. Point your toe, tap your heel. Point and tap. And arms can be wherever you want them to be just for your balance. Now we're going to bring it out to the side, and this is where you either are going to have your big toe touching the ground, or if you turn out at the hip, your knee is facing up and all your toes are kind of equally on the ground. So you can point and tap either this way, or point and tap this way. Point and tap, point, tap, point, tap, point, tap, point, tap. Now we're going to go back, and the back's going to be a little bit different. So back, you're going to point, but as you're flexing your heel, you're actually going to come down, put your weight on that heel, and bend your opposite leg. So it's a little bit of a squat. So it's toe, up on your toe, and down for a mini squat. Up and down, 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 up and down. One more time, up and down. Back to the front, opposite leg, point and tap, point and tap, point, tap, point and tap, point and tap, point and tap, and out to the side, point and tap, 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 one more time, point and tap. Now going backwards, point, bend, point, bend. Leg straight, knee bend. Straight and bend. Straight and bend. Straight and bend. Straight and bend. Okay. Now getting into our hips. So you can have your hands on your hips wherever you want them to be. We're just going to do some real gentle hip circles. So imagine that there's a pole coming up to the center of your body, and there's a hula hoop that you're standing in the center of. So you want to keep your weight focused on that center pole, and then slowly push your weight around that hula hoop. So your balance should always come back to that center point, so you're not falling over, but your hips are trying to push all the way around that hula hoop. So your weight's going to slide over your heels and then over your toes, and your head pretty much counterbalances where your hips are. So your head stays about where that center pole would be. Real gentle. And then stop and go the opposite direction. And stop, reverse. And one more time, stop and reverse. All right, so let's work on a bit of our torso. We're going to do our standing cat-cows. So for those of you who haven't done these before, you're going to stand with your feet about hip width distance apart, maybe a little bit more depending on what kind of balance you have. And again, toes facing forward, knees facing forward. As you bend, your knees should stay over your toes. Like this in the camera. As you bend, if your knees are starting to come way out here, you need to bring your booty back so that your knees come back and don't go past your toes. So that's kind of our squat point. So as you get ready to squat, you're going to bring your chest forward and really arch your back and come down between your knees. And then once you get to this point, oops, So arching your back, coming down between your knees. Now when you get to here, you're gonna round your back and roll up. So arch, come down, and then let your head relax. Round your back and come up. Do a couple of those while I fix something. So arch, round and come down. Round your back and roll up. So arch and down. Roll your back and come up. Arch and down. Roll back up. Okay, so one more time. Arching and coming down. Rolling up. All right. So let's work on our shoulders and our arms. We're going to start with just shoulders, and we're going to roll them forward. So coming back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, down. Just a real gentle roll. And now we're going to alternate. So we're going to go forward with just our shoulders, and then forward with our whole arm. Forward shoulders, forward with our arms. Shoulders and arms, shoulders and arms. Shoulders, arms, one more time, shoulders and arms. Now let's go backwards, just shoulders going back for a few, back. You're going forward, up, back, and back. Now let's put a whole arm into it. Shoulder, whole arm. Shoulder and arm. Shoulder, arm, shoulder, arm, shoulder, arm. All right, a little bit for our neck. So starting just by looking straight forward, you're gonna tuck your chin and come up, and tuck your ear and come up. Chin and come up, opposite ear and up. So chin and up, ear and up, chin and up, opposite ear and up, chin and up, ear and up, chin and up, ear and up. One more time, chin and up, ear and up, chin and up, opposite ear and up. All right, so we are gonna work on, let me pause the music for just a second. So we are gonna work on drilling a lot of the combos that we've been working on. Sorry, minor technical. All right, so we are going to work on a lot of the moves that we've been doing in our choreography, but we're going to start them as basic foundations of it and do some drills. So those of you that have not done the choreography yet, you're still going to learn how to do these moves, and then we're just going to drill them so that rather than kind of rushing through the choreography and just kind of trying to make your way through the moves, you're actually getting the moves done correctly. So we are going to start, and my notes here. We're going to start with just our basic hips. So standing in your beautiful belly dance posture, so your feet are not quite hip distance, in a little bit. You are pulling in your low abs so that your tailbone kind of comes down, lengthening your ribs and your back, and then bringing those shoulders down. So starting with your right hip, we're going to bring that heel up, and your hip's going to come up, and then lower your heel and your hip will go down. So bring your heel up and down. That right hip should come up and down. Now make sure as we're doing this that you're not slowly creeping your butt out as you're thinking really hard about this. Make sure you're staying tucked, that your hip is coming up and down versus kind of out and back. So up and down. So right heel and down, right heel and down. And on the left side, bringing that left heel up, we'll bring your left hip up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And alternating right and down, left and down, right and down, left and down. So we're going to play a little bit with the intensity of those hips. So you hear me talk a lot about how your knees are your shock absorbers. This is where a lot of your power and your movement comes from. So really having a nice soft bend in your knees. As you bring that hip up, try to keep your heel on the floor as much as possible. And now instead of bringing that heel all the way up, you're using your knee to push that hip up. So you're coming up, your knee is straightening a little bit to bring that hip all the way up, and then coming down. On the opposite side, knee straightens, hip comes up and down. So straighten that knee and down, straighten and down. So hip comes up, knee goes straight. Hip comes up, knee is straight. So up and up, up and up. With that softness in your knees, you can make these really soft up and down with your hips. And throughout our choreography, we've got a lot of this kind of softer motion. But we also have some sharper ones. So for that sharp movement, as that, again, starting on the right, as that leg is coming straight, you're going to squeeze your right glute, and that's going to snap that hip up. So instead of it just being your knees, now you're adding that glute in, and that's a nice, big, powerful muscle, and that's going to really snap that hip up. And then you're going to release that glute and squeeze the left glute. Now, again, I know a lot of you feel like you just have one giant glute back there, but over time, as you really focus on right versus left, as you're thinking left versus right, next thing you know, you'll actually be moving just your right and just your left. So it's right up, right, left. So squeezing your right, squeeze your left, squeeze your right, squeeze your left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. All right, we're gonna do a little drill with this. And I really want you to start to see the difference between your hips coming up and your hips coming out. We do a lot of horizontal, like our figure eights and things like that. And with those, you're on basically like a tabletop plane, and your hips don't actually come up and down. So I want to work on the difference between the two of those. So again, we're tucked. You're going to basically lock your hips in place, if you can kind of imagine that, so they're not able to move. Your knees are locked in place, but they're not locked bent or locked straight. They're going to be a little bit bent, but they're going to stay in that same amount of bend the entire time. They're not going to bend more or less. So keep them in equal bend and stay in that bend. And your hips are just going to get pushed to the side. So you're actually going to move your weight over onto your right foot. And I'm exaggerating my foot here so you can see it. But you're coming out over onto your right foot and then coming back to center and out on the outside of your left foot and back to center. So out and out, out and out. So that's our exaggeration theater version of it. So again, your hips are locked in place, your knees are locked in a slight bend, and you're just sliding side to side. And it's gonna be real subtle, not gonna be a big, big movement. And hopefully you can see, although this shirt is long enough in the back that maybe you can't see. Hopefully you can see that my hips are just sliding across an invisible tabletop. So they're not coming up, they're just going horizontal. All right, so we're gonna play around with this. Starting on our right hip, we're gonna do 4 hip up. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to neutral, keeping it locked here. Now we're gonna go to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let me put some music on with a rhythm that we can follow. There you go. 1, 2. I think this will work. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, slide, 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 3, 4, and slide, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, and slide, 2, 3, 4, right, left, slide, right, left, up, 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 out, 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 up, 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 and out, 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 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, up, and out. Up, 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 out, 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 up, 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 out, 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 out. All right. So, I don't see any questions in the chat. Hopefully everybody understands now the difference between that up and up versus out and out. If there are any questions, again, wave at me or use the chat. Okay, looks like we're good. So, okay, so we're gonna take it one step further and we're gonna add in our horizontal figure 8. So, we're taking that slide and imagine, and you can kind of see me doing this all the time as we're working. Imagine that you've got a string that comes in one hip and out the other. And this is the length of your string and it never gets longer. So you've got a string coming through your hips. And we're going side to side, we're just pulling your string side to side. But now we're going to draw an imaginary figure 8 on the floor around your feet. And to do that, we're going to twist. So taking your string, you're going to pull your right side forward and your left side back. So there's your twist, back to center, twist the opposite direction, back to center. Now let your feet twist a little bit. You don't need to have them locked in place because your knees are twisting. You might need to release your heel a little bit so that your knee doesn't get twisted. But it's not going to be a huge twist where you're doing funky things down here with your feet. So just a small twist and twist. So again, you've got your string. Start by pulling your right hip forward and your left hip back. Back to center. Opposite direction, left hip comes forward. Back to center. Right hip forward, center, left hip forward, center. So twist and twist, 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 twist. And again, we've got this imaginary tabletop that we're sliding our hips across. So we're not doing any knee work so that our hips aren't coming up and down. Your knees are still in the same amount of bend the whole time. Okay? So let's turn that into our figure 8. So we're going to pull our hip to the front, and then we're going to slowly push it into that corner. So again, we've twisted our hips. Now we're going to bring our hip out. So without the twist, we're bringing our hip out as if we've been sliding back to back. But now we're going to do our sliding at an angle. All right, so pulling our hip forward, slide forward, and then bring that hip all the way back to the back. Now your left hip is facing the front corner, but now we need to pull it into that front corner and then pull all the way back. Pull to the front corner and pull back. Front corner and back, front corner and back, front corner and back, front corner and back. And so if you imagine that you've got a pencil kind of sticking down from your hips, as you're drawing your hip back and then coming back to center, drawing your left hip back and then coming to center, you're drawing kind of that imaginary figure 8 on the floor. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our hips up 4 times. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do just a little micro reset and do our hip on the right side for 4. So out 1, 2, 3, 4, and then left side, left, 1, 2, 3, 4, reset to the center for up, 2, 3, 4. So make sure you do that little reset so that your hips are coming up to the side, not to an angle. So it's going to be up 1, 2, 3, 4, twist, push out to the front right, and back 2, 3, 4, push out to the left, and back 2, 3, 4, reset, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's do that with some music and get a nice rhythm going here. There you go. 1, 2, 3, go. Up, 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 and forward, 2, 3, 4, left, back, 3, 4, up, 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 forward, 2, 3, 4, left, 2, 3, 4, reset, up, 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 right, back, 3, 4, left, back, 3, 4, and up, 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 right, and left, and up, 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 right, and left, and up, 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 right, and left, and up, 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 right, back, left, back, and right, left, right, left, right, back, left, back. All right, since our music ended, I'm going to go a little bit faster. Let me go to the next. A little bit faster. And 5, 6, 7, right hip up, 2, 3, 4, forward, 2, 3, 4, forward, back, 3, 4, right, up, 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 right hip, 2, 3, 4, left hip, 2, 3, 4, right, left, forward, and forward, and up, 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 right hip, left hip, up, 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 right hip, left hip, up, right hip, around, left hip, around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now, to mess with your brains a little bit, we're going to virtually do the exact same thing, but we're going to come at it from the opposite direction. So our hips are still going to go up, right, left, but this time, instead of turning our right hip to the front and then bringing it back, we're going to turn the opposite direction. We're bringing our left hip to the front, and our right hip is going to go back, but we're still going to work our right hip. So our right hip is going to go out to the back and around to the front, and then our left hip is going to go out to the back and around to the front. So again, we're turning our right hip to the back, pushing our right hip out back, and pulling it around to the front. Now pushing our left hip back and bringing that around to the front. So back and around, 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 back and around. So virtually the same thing, but we're now scooping around instead of pushing back. And oddly, and you see this all the time, our bodies tend to be one-sided. So for some of you, going backwards is going to be a lot easier than going forwards, and vice versa. So don't wonder what's going on if one of these is a lot harder than the other, because our bodies like to go one direction, and belly dance makes them go all over the place. So starting again with our hips up. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn back to the right. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide to the left. 2, 3, 4. Reset. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn hip back to the right. Back. 2, 3, 4. Back. 2, 3, 4. So let's do this at the speed of the music. 1, 2, ready, go. Right, left, back, 2, 3, 4, back, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, back, 2, 3, 4, back, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right back, left back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, right hip scoop, left hip scoop. And 1, 2, 3, 4, right hip, left hip. And 1, 2, 3, 4, right hip, left hip. And 1, 2, 3, 4, right hip, left hip. And 1, 2, 3, 4, right and left. All right, arms up. 3, 4, right hip and left hip. Arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, right, left. And 1, 2, 3, 4, right hip. Keep going. Left hip. Here we go. And right, left, right hip, left hip. All right, now we're gonna alternate. So it's gonna be hips up, or gonna be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go forward, back, 1, 2, 3, 4, backwards, forward, backwards, forward. So let's give that a try. And let's leave our arms just out to the side. Here we go. 3, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Up, 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 up. Scoot forward and back, and up, 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 up. Backwards, forward, and up, 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 up. Forward, and forward, and up, 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 and back, and back, and up, 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 forward, and forward, and up, 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 back, and back, and up, 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 forward, backward, and up, 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 back, and back, and up, 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 forward, and up, 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 back. One more set. Up, 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 forward, and forward, and up, 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 back, and back. All right. So, like I said, we're doing a lot with our hips today. So we're going to take a brief breather here, do a little bit of stretching out. So feet hip distance apart. We're just going to take our, I guess I can face this way. Left hand, slide down to your knee and just hang. This arm kind of hangs out. Up, slide down to your right knee. And again, slide to your left knee. This time your arm comes up and points straight to the ceiling. And down Point straight to the ceiling. One more time. Slide up to the ceiling and then all the way over, looking up at your elbow if you're able to. And then sliding down the other side, arching over, looking up at your elbow. Okay. So that's our horizontal figure eights. So horizontal being that you're drawing your figure eight on the floor as your hips are moving horizontally over top of the floor. So we're going to work on our upward figure eights, but I think to give that a little bit of a breather, we're going to work on one of our other moves. So this one I know has been giving a lot of people trouble, so we're going to play around with our backwards Egyptians. So let's review how these are done. We are starting facing forward. We're going to put our weight on our right foot, so our left is ready to do all the work. And you're tapping your toe on your left foot. So your hips are even. Now with your foot tap, you can't, unless you're sinking into it, there's not a lot of movement here. So don't worry if this isn't a huge move. So first thing we do, arms come up on one, and as they come up, they bring that left hip up. So the first move, arms up, hip up. Now again, you're using your knees and your legs by bending and straightening, just as if you were doing it with your feet flat. With your foot tapped, it's the same thing. You just don't have quite as much range of motion because your foot isn't allowing that knee to bend as much. So again, up one with your arms and your hip, and then you're going to squeeze that glute and bring your hip down on two. So you're really squeezing that right glute to bring your hip down. So up one, down two. So relatively easy, but this is going to be the asymmetrical version of this. So we're coming up one, down two. Now you're going to step behind your right foot with your left, and you're going to turn around right on your right, and your left is now tapped again. So those of you that aren't real comfortable with this combination yet, we're going to do a fake turn. So the fake turn is going to be one, two, step behind, three, step on your right foot and tap your left foot four. So again, that's one, two, three, and four. So that's going to simulate your left weight on your right foot, tapping your left. So this way you can kind of do the fake turn, but still be facing forward so you can see the rest of this. So one, two, again, really squeeze that right glute to bring your left hip down sharply. Two, turn three, four. Now we're going to hold five. This is the part where we're going to start moving backwards. Hip comes up, down six, step behind, up on the right side, down, step behind, up on the left side, down. So we're doing three facing the back. So it's up one, down two, turn three, four, hold five, down six, step seven, down eight, step one, down two. Again, we're going to turn on three and four, turn three, four, we're going to hold five, down six, step seven, eight. Now in our choreography, we move on from here, but so that we can drill this and really get used to this weird 1, 3, 2 pattern, we're just going to do it as a drill in a loop. So to do that, our arms are up the whole time. So we're going to keep them up. One, turn, left, right, left, turn, left hip, bring your arms down, right hip. And this is where we're going to repeat. They're going to come up one, down two, and now they stay up. So let's do this. I'm going to put the slower rhythm on. Okay, so here we go. Again, our asymmetrical, so it's 6, total, but it's gonna be 1, 3, and 2. So here we go, a little bit slower. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4. Actually, I'm gonna do this in chunks to start with. So let's do just that part. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4. All right, again. And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4. All right, so now back here. This is when we start moving. Hold 5. So 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. So we're stepping backwards. Hip comes down. Raise you a little bit more. Hip comes down. Left hip. Step left foot. Right hip. Step right foot. Left hip. Every time we turn, we start with a left hip. So starting from the front, let's just do the 1, the turn, and then the 3. Here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. All right. I don't see any questions yet, so we'll keep going. So we just did our 1, 2. So now we're going to step behind and turn. Now, as you turn, we've done this a couple different ways. The easiest way for this particular choreography is just to take your foot behind, come up on releve, squeeze your thighs together. Those are going to kind of push your legs around. You pivot around, and then fall back on your right foot, and your left foot comes up and taps. So it's just going to be a real simple untwisting. So you're twisting up, and then you're untwisting. Now, if you get behind, your feet get messed up, that's where that 5 comes in. So you've gone 1, 2, turn 3, 4. If on 4 you realize your weight's on your left foot instead of your right, take 5 to put your weight back on your right foot so you can do your left hip. So use that 5th count to either get reset or just hold it if you're ready to go. Here we go. Let's do the whole section now. We're going to do 1, the 3, and then add the 2 in. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And again, with those hips, these are going to be not really fast, but fast enough that it's not going to be a big hip. You don't really have time for big steps and big hips. So it's going to be a small hip down, just turning almost right in place. Left hip, step right behind. Right hip, step right behind. Left hip. Because we are going fast enough. I mean, you can really travel with this move. You can do really big steps. But number 1, you probably don't have the space in your homes to do that. And number 2, it's fast enough that you don't really have time for these big steps. So keep it small and give yourself extra time by keeping it small to really get the move right. So here we go. Let's do the whole thing. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5. Left, right. Left, turn 3, 4, 5. Left, right. So again, every time you turn, it becomes a left hip. So we're going to try doing this in a loop. So to know when we're resetting, our arms are going to come down. So we've done 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 3, 4, hold 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our arms come down so we can reset 1, 2. Okay, so let's give it a try. And before we get going, again, remember, staying tucked, chest is lifted, but your shoulders are down. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5. Left, right, left, turn 3, 4, left, right. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's gonna reset one. Start from the beginning again. And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, this time as we do it, I'm not going to call out the counts, I'm going to call out the hip. So all I'm going to say is left and then turn, left, right, left, turn, left, right. Because I know for some of you, it's more about what hip we're doing than what the count is. So let's do it again, just calling out our hips. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, turn 3, 4. Left, right. 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 Oops. Left, turn 3, 4. Left, right. 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 All right. Everybody still with me? Okay. So I'm just gonna real quick turn off the mute so if anybody has questions. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions yet? Nope, we're doing good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to move on to our hungry hippo hips and work on that movement that precedes our asymmetrical backward hips. So we've got, yikes, this class always goes by so fast. So we'll do our hungry hippo hips, and then we're going to try to put all of that together with the backwards Egyptians that we just worked on. So I'm going to mute everybody again. And for those of you who have not done hungry hippo hips with me yet, the way I like to explain this move is if you remember that game from the 80s where you had a plastic hippo and it would shoot out, grab a marble, and then bring it back in. Shoot out, grab the marble, bring it back in. That's what our hips are doing. They're technically called Mayas, but I like hippo hips better because it really helps visualize what your hips are going to be doing. So again, we're tucked, chest is lifted, shoulders are down, and we're starting with our hip coming up, just like we do with our regular hip ups. So you're starting on your right ankle is going to come up, right hip comes up. Now your hip is going to stay here. So you're staying with kind of a diagonal between your hips. Right hip is up, left hip is down. Now just go ahead and lower your hip for a second. And let's rewind when we're doing our sliding side to side. That's what we're going to do next. But instead of our hips being level, one hip is up. And so we're coming across at this weird angle. So your hip is coming up. Now leaving it up, you're going to slide it out. So you now have come up and out. Now from here, you're going to keep your hip out to the side. You're going to drop your ankle and drop your hip. So that's your hippo grabbing its marble. And then you just pull it all back into center. So again, you come up, push it out, heel comes down, hip comes down, all comes back to center. So up, out, down, and in. And again, this is all moves are important that we do it in proper position, but this is a really important one to stay tucked so that your hip is staying in alignment this way. You can almost imagine that you're stuck between two panes of glass and you can only slide between them. You can't move forward and backwards. So you don't want your hip coming up and forward or up and back. By staying tucked, it really forces your hip to stay on a nice smooth line unless you deliberately twist your whole torso. So staying tucked, keep it in that line there. We're coming up, pushing out, heel down, hip down, and back in. Up, out, down, in. Let's move to our left side. So for our left hip, it's coming up, ankle up, heel up, pushing out to the left, coming down, so our ankle goes, or our heel goes down, hip comes down with it, and then you just come right back to center. So up, out, down, and in, left side up, out, down, and in, right up, out, down, and in, left up, out, down, and in, right up, out, down, and in, left up, out, down, and in, right up, out, down, and in, left up, out, down, in, right up, out, down, in, left up, out, down, in, right up, out, down, in, left up, out, down, in, right up, out, down, in, left up, out, down, in. So when you put two of these hippos or two of these Mayas together on our right side and our left side, we're now creating our vertical figure eight. So if you've got a pencil kind of attached to your hips, you're drawing one side of the figure eight and the other side of the figure eight with your hips. So this becomes our vertical figure eight. So up, out, in, center, up, out, down, center, up, out, down, center, up, out, down, center. All right. So we're going to do this again, but we're going to add in an extra hip. So we're starting with hip up, comes down, and then up, out, down, center. So it's just a little accent before the hippo hip. So hip down, up, out, down, center. Up, down, up, out, down, center. Up, down, up, out, down, center. Up, down, up, out, down, center. So it's just a little accent, down, down and out, down, down and out, down, down and out, down, down and out. So for those of you that have been following along with the choreography, we started learning these as two hippo hips. So we had a really small hippo hip and a really big hippo hip, and another small hippo hip and a big hippo hip. we've been slowly kind of whittling it down to just a simple down hip because it's making it a lot cleaner than trying to get a big and a little hippo hip, especially because in our music, we don't know when that first beat is going to come. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. So for now, to keep it nice and clean, we're just going to do a simple down and then our hippo hip. Down, up, out, down, in. Down, up, out, down, in. So let's try a couple of those. And then, sadly, I'm going to have to let you go in a few minutes. So we'll do a few of these, and then we'll do a nice cool down. So with our rhythm, okay, so we're going to do these a little bit slower, and then we'll go to the speed of our choreography. So let's take it 1, 2, 3, in 4, 5, 6, out 7, in 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down, up, out, down, in. Down, up, out, down, in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All right, I think we'll save that rhythm for just a few more. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Down, out, down, out, down, up, out, down, in, 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 down, up, out, down, in. All right, we're going to keep going with this, but now I want you to play around a little bit with those glutes. So as you're getting used to this rhythm, I want you to try making that first hip down a sharp one. So down, and then a soft out, up, down, and in. So sharp down, soft out and in. Sharp down, soft. Sharp, soft. Sharp, soft. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Down, up, out, in. Down, up, out, in, down, up, out, in. Sharp, soft. 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 All right, so let's throw in the arms. I think we're going to have to just stop at this, and we're not going to be able to add it into our backwards hips. We'll move on to that next week. So we're just going to throw in arms with this, and this will be our last drill. So our arms start down, and we're going to do 4 hip combos. So right hip out, left hip out, and our arms start to come up. So on the second hip, they should be about horizontal to the ground. Third hip, they come up to about 45. Fourth hip, they should be all the way up. Then we're gonna cross them. Right arm's gonna go behind, left is gonna go in front. So we're gonna do 4 more sets of hips. So right hip, they start to cross. Left hip, they're all the way crossed. Then they stay here, right hip and left hip. So let's try that. And 5, 6, 7, 8. Right out, left out. Right out, left out. Cross, right out, left out. Right out, left out. Again, right out, left out. Right out, left out. Cross, right out, left out. Right out, left out. Let's do a little bit faster. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the speed we're going to go. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, and it stops. Here we go. And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, out, cross, down, out, down, repeat. Down, out, down, cross, down, repeat. Down, out, cross. Repeat. Down, out, down. Repeat last time, down. Down, cross, down. All right. Well, we did manage to get actually quite a lot packed into this little class today. So even though we didn't tie it together as the actual choreography, we drilled pretty much the whole opening choreography for this, for the choreography that we're doing, and even a little bit of the middle chunk. So we're gonna try to drill a little bit of the rest of it next week. But for now, let's cool down and put on some nice cool down music. Let's see. There you go. So we're going to start with our standing cat-cows. So we're just going to arch our back and come down between your knees, round your back, and roll up. So arch and down, roll up, arch, down, roll up. Let's do 2 more times. Arch, round, arch, and round. All right, we're gonna do our washing machine twist. So you're just gonna let your arms kind of flop around you and twist. Make sure you let those heels come up so the twist is happening in your torso, not in your knees. And those arms are just flopping around, having that twist in your hips. All right, let's do our forward fold. So we're going to start by arms up to the ceiling. Really try to reach, actually touch the ceiling, and then dive down to your feet. And just hang here. You're going to let your head hang loose like a piece of ripe fruit on the vine. So give it a bit of a shake first to loosen it up, and then just hang. You can even grab your elbows if you want a little bit more weight pulling you down, but just like gravity, do all the work here. And then bend your knees, roll up, arms up to the ceiling, really try to touch the ceiling, and dive down and forward fold. And bend your knees and roll up. And one last little hip thing to start getting those hips cooled down. We're going to do a hip roll. So our hip is going to go back, up, and forward. We're rolling it around. Getting that whole joint kind of loosened up and back in place so it can help you walk around the rest of the day. And then reverse, forward, up, and back. And these can be real loosey-goosey. We're more concerned about getting those hips kind of a little extra warmth into them and letting them slowly cool down. All right, other side, and back. And forward. All right. So, let me stop this for a second. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody. Okay, I think I got it going. So, this is our second to last class of the choreography that we've been working on. I don't know at this point what's happening with our stay-at-home order, but I talked to Sherry at Women's Space, and we're pretty certain that it's going to be all of May as well. So we're still trying to figure out how we're going to run classes. It's going to be online for May. In addition to the regular classes that we're going to try to do here with choreography, I'm going to also offer just some basic drills classes online on, I think it's Tuesday nights and Sundays for now. And I'm also going to do some veil workshops throughout May. So we'll have some extra stuff for May. So I will try to keep you guys posted as we know more. But next week is our last class from this session. And because of the situation, we're not going to get through all the choreography. But we'll, hopefully when we get back together in person, then we'll finish the choreography. And then we can do the separate parts that we talked about. For those of you that just joined me today that haven't been taking the full choreography, thank you for coming. Anybody have any questions? Anything about, oops, sorry, I accidentally, I don't think I unmuted everybody. Does anybody have any questions about what we went over or need more clarification? All right, well, thank you for coming. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Before I let you go, homework. And it's the homework that I give you all the time. You're going to do your standing sit-ups. So you're going to use those low abs here, and you're just going to engage those abs and do a little tuck and release. Tuck and release, tuck. And you can do this while you're stirring the soup as you're making dinner, as you're walking around. Just tuck, release, tuck, release. I know it looks ridiculous, but it's going to really help you with your control and strengthen those abs. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful afternoon.